Oh no, what a shame. What a shame.
Oh dear.
Happy birthday, Meghan Markle. Are you surprised she's apparently already gotten snubbed?
I'm sorry. This is karma, bitch.
Meghan Markle turned 45, flooded the internet with balloons, dancing, desserts, flowers, and proof that she was living her best life. Buckingham Palace answered with one brutal message: nothing. And that wasn't even the end of the disaster, but let's start there.
45th birthday, it went publicly unacknowledged by the royal family.
No birthday post, no royal photograph, no warm message from King Charles, no polite greeting from William and Catherine. Not even one cold, carefully written sentence acknowledging that the Duchess of Sussex had reached a milestone birthday.
Not acknowledge them in any capacity. That relationship is simply isn't there anymore. They believe Meghan played a significant role in the breakdown of family trust, and I think any suggestion that they're secretly exchanging birthday wishes belongs more in the realm of wishful thinking than a reality.
The palace did not attack Meghan. It did something far worse. It carried on as if her birthday did not exist. And while Meghan desperately tried to make the day look huge, joyful, glamorous, and full of love, every new post made the silence around her even louder.
This birthday, this 45th birthday, has turned into an absolute disaster for Meghan Markle.
First came the pool jump, then the kitchen dancing, then the flowers, then the birthday dessert stuffed with products from her own brand. Then, as Ever stepped in to praise its own founder, and before the celebration was over, commentators were asking whether Meghan had spent her 45th birthday celebrating herself, because almost nobody connected to the royal family was willing to do it publicly.
Don't you think there's something quite sad about the fact 45 years old, you know, that is, I'm 43. You should be very content at that age, very happy about where you're at with life, very confident in your friendship groups and your career. And Meghan had the opportunity for all of that. And actually what we're seeing today is just a trickle. No one really wants to acknowledge this. No one really wants to celebrate her. She's probably going to end up having to celebrate herself.
This was supposed to be Meghan's victory lap. Instead, it became a public humiliation she could not edit, crop, filter, or sell her way out of.
Meghan Markle, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes. I'm not sure it's always the gift that we want to keep on giving.
The first blow landed before Meghan's birthday campaign could take control of the headlines. The official royal account stayed completely silent. Her name did not appear. Her photograph did not appear. The institution behind the title she still proudly uses gave the public absolutely nothing. Royal commentators immediately tried to explain it away as protocol. Meghan is no longer a working royal.
Meghan doesn't understand what it means to actually be royalty. She thinks it's like being an influencer and celebrity, and it's just not. And she degrades and demeans what it means to be royal by acting as crass as she does.
Official palace accounts do not post birthday tributes for every private family member. Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lily have been outside that public birthday policy for years. According to that version, nobody was snubbing her. The palace was simply following the rules. But rules do not make public rejection look any less savage. Meghan still appears as the Duchess of Sussex. She still uses the title in interviews, business promotions, television appearances, and major announcements. She is still married to the king's son and remains the mother of a prince and princess.
King Charles, though, I think he's a bit of a softie. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends a card. And
that card will end up on a Netflix documentary at some point.
Possibly.
Before we continue, one quick thing. One thing I've realized is that most families don't have their important information organized in one place. That's exactly why I recommend the Family Vault, a simple printable and fillable organizer where you can keep everything from important documents and insurance to medical information, passwords. You'll find the link in the description, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Now let's get back to today's story.
So, the palace moved through Meghan's birthday without Meghan. And Meghan responded the only way she knows how. She turned the cameras on herself.
Their desperate need to always seem to be out there and posting how wonderfully fun they are. You know, pictures of that, a clip of that, her jumping into a swimming pool, you know, that their life is just full of fun.
No royal acknowledgement meant no royal validation, so the birthday had to become bigger, louder, and more visible on Meghan's own channels. The content arrived fast. There was Meghan in a black swimsuit, frozen in midair as she leapt into a swimming pool beside birthday balloons.
It's like jumping into the pool, like, thank you for the birthday love. You have no clue if people love you, Meghan. You have no idea. You're just kind of jumping into the deep end of the pool and tanking it as your career is with a bunch of balloons as if you're a toddler. This it just feels, especially for a royal, like just being in a swimsuit like this just feels so undignified.
The image screamed carefree California freedom. She thanked everyone for the birthday love and presented the moment like an unplanned burst of joy caught by a friend.
Number one, people can't comment on your Instagram, so how do they know how do you know they're giving you birthday love? You're just anticipating that they're giving you birthday love.
Then, she appeared dancing around the enormous Montecito kitchen while dogs wandered through the scene. No formal royal portrait, no stiff palace balcony, no rules. Just Meghan laughing, moving, and showing the world that life outside the monarchy was apparently one non-stop private party. But commentators did not see effortless happiness. They saw a performance begging to be believed.
But why do we need to see pictures of the Sussexes to this extent to commemorate her 45th birthday?
One television panel watched the kitchen clip and asked the obvious question, why did she need to show this at all? Their answer was brutal. Meghan and Harry appeared desperate to prove that their world is fun, loving, relaxed, and completely unaffected by the disasters surrounding them. She was not simply dancing in her kitchen. She was filming the dance, packaging it, and delivering it to strangers as evidence that everything was perfect.
You know, the trip to Britain didn't go down well. He lost the court case, so they're having to find a way of regrouping. The one saving grace from these pictures is we haven't got any more pictures of the children from back views.
Yes.
Which again...
The clip was supposed to silence questions. Instead, it created a much worse one. Who was Meghan trying so hard to convince? The public, the palace, or herself? That is where the birthday fantasy started collapsing. A happy birthday is usually celebrated. Meghan's birthday looked produced. Every image came with a purpose. The balloons proved she was playful. The kitchen proved she was relaxed. The dogs proved the home was warm. The flowers proved she was wholesome. And the products proved the brand was still alive.
And they talk about the famous privacy. Well, here they are. They seems to be filming stuff in their home, which you never see the Waleses do.
They live a very extraordinary kind of private life, as it were.
Look how happy I am. Look how loved I am. Look how perfect my life is. But the harder Meghan pushed that message, the more viewers stared at what the camera never showed. Where were the friends? Where was the crowded table? Where was the loud party behind all that supposed birthday love? Meghan repeatedly laughed toward people outside the frame, moved through carefully prepared rooms, and performed for a camera while the actual celebration remained almost invisible.
So Meghan Markle, to me, I feel like she's her own self-saboteur, like she self-sabotages everything. And I've said for the past few weeks, you know, she might be the first person to go rags to riches and then back to rags that quickly.
Then Meghan turned her own birthday into a sales pitch. Meghan released a video demonstrating her favorite summer dessert. She started with vanilla ice cream and added as ever raspberry spread, crushed shortbread, more spread, and the brand's flour sprinkles.
Meghan's favorite ice cream sundae. God, she's just so fake. She just can't be normal. This was done to show the engagement ring. It's gone, but she has huge diamond on the other hand. So she has so much. Good call, Sue. Look at that.
Almost every layer of the sundae doubled as a sales pitch. The message was supposed to be simple. Celebrate like Meghan by purchasing Meghan's products and assembling Meghan's preferred dessert. But viewers noticed an awkward detail. In another shot, Meghan appeared with a plain ice cream cone while her dog stood nearby. The elaborate jam-covered creation she had just promoted was nowhere to be seen.
She is trying to convince us that the best way to consume an ice cream sundae this summer is with her very unappetizing runny spread. Then to get the headlines, Meghan, of course, had to include some video, some imagery of her with her own dog, where guess what? She's eating an ice cream without the spread that she is trying to promote.
She had shown the audience how to bury ice cream under her branded ingredients, then appeared to choose a basic cone for herself. The internet pounced. Why was Meghan not eating the product she was selling? Why was she constructing an overloaded sundae for the camera and then holding something completely different when it was time to appear relaxed? The clip was meant to make As Ever feel irresistible. Instead, it created the impression that even the founder preferred her ice cream without it.
Every single utterance is just a flat-out distortion or lie.
The dessert itself was also attacked as painfully basic. Raspberry spread, vanilla ice cream, crushed biscuit, and decorative sprinkles were presented like a major lifestyle discovery. Meghan was not revealing a complicated recipe. She was putting jam on ice cream, yet the video treated every scoop and sprinkle as though viewers were witnessing a culinary breakthrough. This was no longer a birthday celebration. It was a luxury shopping channel filmed inside a mansion.
She never takes a bite. She can't eat her own product. That's too much.
Her own company joined the performance. As Ever published a tribute to its founder, turning the brand into the official cheerleader for Meghan Markle. The post celebrated Meghan, included nostalgic imagery, and effectively allowed Meghan's business to congratulate Meghan for being Meghan. It was a bizarre closed circle. Meghan created the company praised Meghan, and Meghan's audience was expected to treat that corporate post like spontaneous public affection.
It doesn't look natural, it looks forced. It looks like she is trying on another look because the first look didn't capture the public's interest or attention. Like she's constantly cycling through different identities, trying to find one that sticks.
And that made the palace silence look merciless. The royal family did not publicly celebrate her. William and Catherine did not publicly celebrate her. The official royal channels did not publicly celebrate her. So Meghan's own commercial operation stepped forward to fill the empty space.
Check out my ring!
The contrast was impossible to miss. The institution that gave her the Duchess title said nothing. The company selling jam and flour sprinkles supplied the applause. Still, Meghan could not control the story. Just as the branded celebration was being mocked, another video triggered a copying accusation.
So you remember yesterday, Meghan posted this truly bizarre Instagram story.
Let's flip this. So we can make this.
Well, Super Sleuth Nancy Sidley is on to her, revealing this was a big, fat copy.
Meghan had posted a soft, carefully styled clip from her garden. She moved through wildflowers, selected stems, clipped them, carried them inside, and arranged them into a bouquet. The mood was slow, domestic, and deliberately imperfect. It presented Meghan as a peaceful homemaker finding beauty in nature rather than chasing royal attention. Then viewers placed the clip beside content from influencer Nara Smith.
I posted an almost identical video of wildflowers, and as Sidley pointed out, right on cue, Meghan Markle dropped what she described as the Temu version. And honestly, don't take my word for it. Don't take Nancy's word for it. Just watch Nara's near identical video.
Bear fell right after the last frost. We continued watering them for weeks. I never really thought that they would spread between. There's something so beautiful about wildflowers in a vase to me. Perfection, and instead just fall in love with the process every time.
Link, this is just undeniable, right?
Nara had previously published a polished video built around wildflowers. She described planting seeds, watching them grow, selecting her favorite blooms, carrying them inside, and arranging a bouquet. The visual language was extremely similar. Flowers, soft movement, domestic calm, a carefully arranged sense of effortlessness, and a voice that turned a simple household activity into a lifestyle fantasy. Within hours, Meghan's peaceful garden fantasy was being mocked as the discount copy. The accusation was not that Meghan had invented flower arranging. Nobody owns bouquets, gardens, or slow-motion domestic videos. The problem was timing and presentation.
Last week, Nara Smith posted a beautiful video of wildflowers, and right on cue, Meghan Markle dropped the Temu version.
Meghan had already been compared with Martha Stewart, Gwyneth Paltrow, Pamela Anderson, and other successful lifestyle figures. Now, during her birthday campaign, another carefully designed piece of content was being measured against another woman's established aesthetic. That history mattered because Meghan was not facing one isolated comparison. She was facing a growing public suspicion that each new identity had been assembled from somebody else's successful formula.
First, it was Martha Stewart. Then it was Gwyneth Paltrow. Then it was Pamela Anderson. Now she's copying the social media trad wife Nara Smith. It may be her 45th birthday, Link, but I'm sorry, this is a major scandal. The woman doesn't have an original thought in her brain.
Instead of showing the world who Meghan was at 45, the video started another argument over who she was trying to be this week. That was devastating because the entire birthday rollout depended on authenticity. Meghan was selling access to her real life, her kitchen, her garden, her dogs, her favorite dessert, her playful dancing, her private celebration. The audience was supposed to feel that they were finally seeing the natural Meghan, far away from palace control. But if the garden video looked borrowed, the Sunday looked like an advertisement, and the dancing looked staged, what exactly was natural about any of it?
But basically, when you're a sociopath, in my opinion, you're just an amalgamation and a reflection of everyone around you, right? She became what she thought Harry wanted, and she really tried to cosplay Princess Diana and win over Prince Harry. And now she's trying to act like she's a chef, and she's this Oprah, Martha Stewart, Mother Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow figure. None of it is really working.
Commentators landed on an even harsher verdict. Meghan may be her own greatest saboteur. Then versus now was almost painful to watch. Meghan once rode through Windsor while crowds filled the streets. Cameras from around the world captured every detail. She became a working member of the most famous royal family on earth. Her future appeared enormous. Now the major images surrounding her 45th birthday were jam on ice cream, flower sprinkles, a kitchen dance, and a company tribute written by the brand she created.
Meghan is copying, but hey, it's her birthday, guys, so let's let her make her crappy looking sundae. Let's let her keep selling her stupid jam and flower sprinkles. Good for you, Meghan. I'm going to support you today. Happy birthday, Meghan. So glad to have you here.
And then came the birthday humiliation nobody could explain away as palace protocol. The pool photograph was supposed to be the defining image of Meghan's birthday. It was energetic, glamorous, and easy to circulate. Meghan in a black swimsuit, frozen in midair, throwing herself into the water beside birthday balloons.
It is Meghan Markle's birthday today, and the name of the game apparently is cosplay, as Meghan is once again cosplaying her mother-in-law, Princess Diana.
It looked like the perfect visual declaration that she was entering 45 with confidence and freedom. But internet users quickly found an old photograph of Princess Diana jumping into a swimming pool in a strikingly similar pose. Suddenly, Meghan's most important birthday picture was no longer being discussed as Meghan's picture. It was being displayed beside Diana. The same body angle, the same airborne movement, the same poolside drama. The balloons were different, but the central visual was familiar enough to trigger immediate accusations of another Diana cosplay.
I mean, everything about this pose is basically the same. Everything about it. You're just missing balloons. Everything about this is exactly the same.
This was not the first time Meghan had been accused of borrowing from her late mother-in-law's image. Her clothing, poses, accessories, interviews, and photo shoots have repeatedly been compared with Diana's. Sometimes the similarities may be coincidence. Diana was one of the most photographed women in modern history, and almost any royal woman will eventually wear a similar color, stand in a similar pose, or appear in a similar setting. But the birthday photograph arrived after the garden copying accusation, after the highly staged dancing, after the branded dessert, and after the palace had refused to acknowledge the day publicly. By the time Diana entered the story, the comparison felt like the final piece of a pattern.
And of course, this has been talked about for years now. Meghan Markle's incessant need to copy other people, from Diana to the Princess of Wales to other celebrities like Pamela Anderson, Gwyneth Paltrow. Meghan Markle seems to lack one very key thing in the public's eye, and that is a defined identity. From her fashion to her personality to her interests, everything about Meghan seems to be a copy of somebody else.
The pool image could have survived one comparison. It could not survive an entire birthday already buried beneath accusations of imitation and overproduction. Meghan had spent the entire celebration trying to establish her own perfect identity: carefree California mother, glamorous duchess, playful wife, domestic homemaker, lifestyle founder, and beloved public figure. Then the image at the center of it all sent viewers straight back to another woman. Royal News Network called the photograph another example of Meghan attempting to recreate Diana rather than simply honoring her. The argument was vicious but clear. Meghan wants the affection Diana received, so she repeatedly reaches for Diana's visual language.
There's some similarities here, of course. Similarities there as well. See some here. Actions here. And Meghan's an actress, so it's 100% believable that Meghan Markle would take the time to copy and look at Diana's kind of behavior and attempt to emulate it. Yeah, this, very similar. Obviously, the Northwestern t-shirt, having the Lady Dior bag, Meghan Markle's emblazed with DSSOS, Duchess of Sussex. Yes, that is the case.
Before we continue, I want to mention something really quick. Organizing your family's important information is one of those things most of us know we should do, but we keep putting it off. That's exactly why there's the Family Vault. It gives you one place to organize your important documents, insurance, medical information, passwords, and more, so everything is easy to find when it's needed. You'll find the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. That's all. Now let's get back to today's story.
Yet every comparison only reminds the audience that Meghan is not Diana. That is how Meghan Markle's 45th birthday reached its most humiliating ending. The palace never had to attack her. It never had to leak a cruel statement or launch a public fight. It simply stayed silent and allowed Meghan's own content avalanche to collapse under the weight of its contradictions. Meghan responded by giving the public everything: balloons, dancing, dogs, flowers, dessert, jam, sprinkles, childhood pictures, a company tribute, and endless proof that she was surrounded by joy. Instead of rescuing the day, the flood of content destroyed the illusion. The birthday looked commercial instead of personal. The happiness looked performed instead of spontaneous. The garden video was accused of copying Nara Smith. The main photograph was accused of copying Princess Diana. And the loudest official celebration came from Meghan's own brand.
She lacks an inherent identity on her own. And this comes from a mixture of things, including a massive narcissistic ego and, of course, massive insecurities.
Yet on the one day designed to celebrate her, the royal institution treated her like a distant private citizen with no official place inside its public world. That was the real birthday message. She could keep the title. She could not force the family behind it to celebrate her. Commentators argued that the relationship is not merely strained, it is practically gone. After the interviews, the accusations, Harry's memoir, and years of public attacks on palace life, one expert said the idea of friendly secret birthday messages belonged more to fantasy than reality. The dogs appeared. The guests barely did. Even the prepared thank you felt backward. Meghan thanked the world for its birthday love before showing much evidence of an actual birthday gathering. That does not mean Meghan has no money, no audience, or no influence. It means the scale of the story has collapsed.
It's very stalkerish, and it's very much Meghan doesn't know who she wants to be, and she desperately, I think, wants to be as beloved as her mother-in-law. And she can't achieve that on her own. So what she does instead is she tries to copy her one for one. It's not an homage, it's basically a copy.
She tried to force the entire day to revolve around Meghan Markle, but after the palace ignored her and the internet dissected every carefully staged image, the woman dominating the final conversation was Princess Diana. Meghan wanted 45 to look like a triumphant new beginning. Instead, it became another brutal reminder. She can launch the products, stage the pictures, choreograph the joy, and flood the internet with proof that she is thriving. But she cannot force the royal family to publicly claim her, and she still cannot escape the shadow of the woman she keeps being accused of copying.